benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
All right, welcome everybody into the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got a special guest with me today. But before we bring him on, just a reminder, if you didn't know or if you'd forgotten, shame, shame, shame. But this is the Adam Carriker Show, the show that gives you unique insights, unbridled honesty. Producer Jake and Jacob, our special guests, are going to have a whole lot of fun today. The show that talks Husker sports, college football, and sports in general. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, noon to 1 p.m. Central Time. Joy Steve Taylor on Wednesdays. The Loaded Hour. I talk so fast, it's like you get 2 shows in one. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Grab your lunch. Come join us each and every freaking day here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, of course, CarrikerChronicles.com. It's where all your Husker sports hopes and dreams will come true. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just science. All right, today we're going to bring on a guest here in about 10 seconds, but at 12:30, I'm going to be interviewing Bob Mancuso, who votes on like every major college football award under God's hot sun. I will go through the entire list when he joins me at about 12:30. But we're talking the Lombardi, the Lou Groza, the All-American team. I mean, I say, hey, can you send me the list? There's like 15 major awards. So I'll read them all off later. He's going to be joining us. And then the new college football playoff rankings will come out tonight. So I will predict how I think the college football playoff final rankings will look. All right. Well, I'll give how they should look tonight. Not how they're going to look or how I think they'll look, how they should look. And when I get things right, it's my fault. When I get things wrong, it's Jake's fault, right, Jake? Isn't that how that works?
I think that's about right.
All right. It's time to bring on our special guest. So he is my son, Jacob. He's joined me numerous times over the years on the Carriker Chronicles, 10 years strong, actually. He was on the ticket, I think, 2 years ago, joined me for a show heading into the Michigan game that year. I think that's correct. I could be wrong. I don't remember. It was so long ago. But my son, Jacob, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Why aren't you at school? I said I'd be nice to him, and I come firing right out the gate. Why aren't you at school?
I'm playing hooky.
So he's a freshman at Standing Bear High School. Shout out to Standing Bear. I'm just going to slowly shout out every single school and team that my kids are on throughout the year. All right. So shout out to Standing Bear High School, Moore Middle School, Clefcorn Elementary School. All right. But he's a freshman. The sophomores, correct me if I'm wrong, the sophomores are doing the ACTs. And because of that, freshmen don't have to go to school?
Yeah. So it's like the pre-SAT. So it's like the practice test for the test they take as juniors. So me and the juniors don't have school, and they're leaving at like 11 or whatever.
So it's not even the real test, just practice.
Yep.
We're talking about practice.
Yep.
Talk about practice.
It makes perfect.
That's all right. It was awesome because get to spend more time with him. He gets to come join me today. Kid loves sports, football, baseball. Those are the 2 things that he loves the most when it comes to sports. Now, we did do something rather daredevilish on the way here. And Jacob's face was funny. I said, you ready to swap spots? He's 15. You can kind of figure out where I'm going with this. We back out of our garage, and we've got a long gravel road before we hit the main road. And I looked at him and I said, all right, let's swap spots. His face was one of excitement, a small amount of terror, but mostly excitement and shock. Like, oh my God, Dad's going to let me drive the truck. Like what were your thoughts? Because I didn't tell you I was going to do that. What were your thoughts?
I wasn't that surprised. So actually Sunday was the first time I ever really drove with my grandpa in his truck. But like when you asked me, I was kind of not really expecting it, but kind of was. I was just like, oh boy, I must not drive into the woods.
That would be good. So Sunday, first time you drove with Grandpa McBride, my father-in-law. And then today was the second time ever. Drove to the road, did phenomenal. All right. I don't really have any major critiques. What'd you think?
It's fine. I mean,
it was fine. All right.
I drove at 500 feet. Gave me.
It was longer than that. And you did good. You got to start somewhere.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Jake, you have one or two kids, remind me.
Just one. He's 3 years old, so he's got a few years.
So you got about 12, 13 years?
Yeah.
What do you feel inside you when you think of one day getting in the passenger seat of your car and your son's driving? Like, what feelings come up inside of you when you just think of that right now, knowing you've got all these years, but it's coming someday?
Yeah. Probably a little bit of some of what you were saying earlier, maybe a little more fear compared to what you were saying. But I think it'd be exciting and, it'd be a proud moment too.
So this might sound a little silly, but when our kids were younger and Jacob was younger, we used to have these like little John Deere tractors and these 4-wheelers and this one ugly pink Escalade that's supposed to have shiny rims that fell off like 2 days after we got them, but they drive them all around the yard. And so this might sound silly, but you're learning to drive in some sort of aspect when you're younger. And then I grew up riding 4-wheelers. In fact, I was chatting with my dad on the way here. I was reliving the story of when he tried to teach. Nobody has to drive stick anymore. But he was trying to teach me how to drive a stick. He took me to an empty parking lot, local high school. I was doing god awful. He looks at me, you're going to destroy my pickup. And we went home. It lasted about 10 minutes because I was not doing very well on shifting of the gears. But I actually grew up riding 4-wheelers. I haven't had a whole lot of, knock on wood here, close calls in the car. I've about died legit twice on a 4-wheeler. Those are where I think I scared the crap out of my dad. But he's driven 4-wheelers. He drove the little toy vehicles when he was younger. Always the best driver. When friends would come over, out of all of our kids, he is the oldest. He was always the best driver. And then a 4-wheeler, he always handled that really well. Now, it's been a while since you've driven a 4-wheeler, but do you think that helps you at all? Does that give you any confidence at all? Or am I just over here bloviating?
No, I think it helps. Like when, when you see on the sitcom, the blonde sister that doesn't know how to drive at all. I mean, I think it helps a little bit to drive the 4-wheeler.
I think it equates. It's interesting because I've driven jet skis over the years, snowmobiles, and everything in my mind comes back to a 4-wheeler. In some way, shape, or form, it all reminds me of a 4-wheeler. And I was fortunate enough to drive a lot of jet skis and snowmobiles, probably 2 or 3 times. It's all similar in one way, shape, or form to a 4-wheeler, even driving on slick roads. If you get on the side of some gigantic dunes and that sand is loose, and you're either going to figure out how to get to the top, because I would always take on the biggest dunes, or you're going to get to the bottom, whether you want it or not, one way, shape, or form or another. Whether you like the way you're going to get down there or not, because I took a couple of the rough ways down, you learn how to drive real fast, and it definitely helps you. All right, you excited about learning to drive some more?
I am. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm also like finding out, hey, Dad, can you come pick me up? And I can just go home.
So you got to keep in mind we have 6 kids. Okay, so ages 7 to 15. So we spread them out, not at all. He's the only boy, so it's me and him versus the freaking world as well. Love you, love all my daughters, but when I tell you my real job, Jake, is a family Uber driver, I'm not joking. I look forward to him being able to drive so he can drive. His sister's going to high school next year. There's all of a sudden almost 2 kids off the plate. Do you have any idea how much that's going to make my life and my wife's life so much easier? Oh, my gosh.
Well, he's got to worry about now becoming the family Uber driver then maybe once he learns to drive.
No, we're not doing that. We're not there yet. Just going to take a little bit off the plate at a time.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, okay, so we're going to talk. Dylan Raiola gave some thoughts on Dana Holgorsen's offense, what he thinks about it, what he likes, his comfortability level. Okay, we're going to chat about that just a little bit. There was a guarantee of a victory in there as well that's been talked about a little bit. national sources actually picked it up. On3, the like, even more starting to pick it up. So we're going to talk about that stuff real quick. But I had two other things real quick before we dive into ball talk. I saw something Steve Sipple put out, and I screenshotted it, and I tried to find it, and I couldn't. But basically, he talked about he doesn't understand why more people don't use umbrellas. Like yesterday was a very rainy, cloudy day. Did you see that by any chance, Jake?
Oh, it was stormy. Yeah, a lot. Like, Sip's thing.
Yeah.
I saw Sip's thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, why don't more people use umbrellas? And I thought it was quite interesting because I hate umbrellas. I refuse to use umbrellas unless it's just a torrential downpour or there's people with me that should not, like young kids or, maybe my wife or something who probably doesn't want to get wet, maybe done up the hair, makeup, all that. Jacob, what do you feel about the liberal use of umbrellas or lack thereof?
Well, anytime I hear umbrellas or like torrential downpour, I think of that one movie, the Christmas movie where the daughter goes away. And then it's a Christmas movie, and then she comes back, but they got the parents have planned a cruise, and now they got to rush to put up all the Christmas decorations.
Oh, can you think of what he's talking about, Jake?
Trying to think through it.
Like the opening scene of that movie,
Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah, Christmas with the Cranks, and the opening scene when like it's just a downpour.
Yep.
And then the roof caves in, and the Santa Claus keeps trying to sell them umbrellas. So I think they're good to use if it's raining out.
So there's a salesman trying to sell him umbrellas. The main character is Tim Allen. Tim Allen keeps saying no, and he keeps getting torrential downpour from the rain. Then he's standing over the awning, and it's not like a firm awning; it's like a soft one, and then all the water splashes on him. But the Christmas with the Cranks, if you've never seen it, it's actually pretty funny. They're going to skip Christmas. Is essentially the theme of the movie. They're going to skip Christmas, and then they end up having to have Christmas, and funny things ensue. All right. For me, I think it comes back to the trenches mindset. Oh, rain doesn't bother me. I'm a big, tough guy. I'm a big, tough lineman. And, it's funny. It was raining yesterday, and I didn't have an umbrella, did I, Jake?
No.
But I had something on I don't ever wear. What was it? I usually walk in with these black pants, and then I take them off because I get hot while I get ramped up talking. Then I put them back on when I leave, about every day, right?
Was that the other day you had shorts on?
No, yesterday. What I have on top yesterday.
Now
I had a coat. I never wear coats. I was informed by my wife that I always bring a laptop. Okay. Normally it's in front of me ready to go. I don't need it today. It's like the first time all season I don't need it. I'll probably bust it out later. She's like, you don't get that wet. And I was like, well, how am I going to? So I put a coat on, which actually I don't like. And I put it on over me, and I put it on over the laptop to keep the laptop dry. That was my version of an umbrella. Steve Sipple and I see eye to eye on a lot of things, but apparently we differ on the liberal use of umbrellas or lack thereof. What do you got, Jacob?
Well, and then like when we're up skiing in Colorado, you'll like take your coat off sometimes, or just not wear it. You'll just be in your overalls.
I will ski down the mountain in like just my bib and the straps and a t-shirt. Like I get so hot. Like I'm just hot all the time. It's craziness to me. And my mom, I kid you not. Do you know what a turtleneck is? Does anyone even know what a turtleneck is anymore? My mom wears, do you?
I don't.
So basically it's a shirt, and this I don't know how, this cloth comes up around your neck.
Oh yeah, I've
seen
her in those, yeah.
Yeah, you've seen her, not them, her in them. My mom is the most cold-blooded person I've ever met. So where I grew up was actually a desert. Okay, I know it's state of Washington. Southeastern corner is actually a desert. It gets up to like 100. There's cactus and literal tumbleweeds blowing over the road. We're about 4 hours from Seattle. There's a gigantic mountain range in the way and prevents the rain from coming over, hence the desert. It'd be 100 degrees, be at my baseball games. I'd be pouring ice water on my head. My mom would be over there in a turtleneck with a long sleeve shirt on. Just blew my mind. And I'm the exact opposite. I'm skiing down the mountain in like 20, 15 degrees with a t-shirt on. Like it's crazy.
You look like a big tree going down the mountain.
I've been told that by a couple of my girls. I look like a big tree.
That's why we'd always lose you.
Well, that's because I tried to go into the trees. Sometimes it went well, sometimes it didn't. But didn't you get sucked in one time?
When I was like, what was I, like maybe 9 or 10?
So he would follow me. I'm skiing down the mountain, and I look back to check, and he's gone. I'm like, great. I just lost my son. This is not good news. And so I kind of like, I'm like, well, where could he have gone? So I'm like, did he go past me? Is he like sprawled out somewhere with his ski equipment everywhere? So I kind of mosey on over into the trees. Tell him what happened.
So we're going through the trees, and like, there's a path, and then you got the trees, but there was a break in between where the road, like where you're skiing on, and then the trees, and then there's just like this snow right there, and it looked like normal snow to me, but really under it was just
Nothing.
Basically like a 4-foot drop.
Yep.
And I skied into that, and I'm like probably like 5 feet tall at this point, and I fell into it, and I had no way of getting out. So I had to start going like, help.
Yep.
Help. And then like 5 minutes later, he comes like, what are you doing?
I looked down, and basically there was just snow and then nothing. So when he went over it thinking it was regular snow, it wasn't. He like fell through, and it's like up to his neck. So he's fine. Like he's not going to suffocate or anything, but I'm like, he's like 5 feet down there. I'm tired. I've been skiing all day. I'm cold. I don't have a coat on. I don't want to get him out. Like, how am I going to do this? We got him out there, obviously, because he's here. All right, let's talk a little bit of ball. By the way, all right, I wasn't going to share this, but he texted his girlfriend who's going to be on the show.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, you say it then. You say it. Is it better if you say it?
Basically, I texted her that I was going to be on the show, and then she goes, just don't embarrass yourself.
I think he's doing good. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, so far, so good.
He's doing phenomenal. All right, let's talk a little bit of ball. Dylan Raiola basically talking about Dana Holgorsen's offense. He said a couple of things that I thought were pretty interesting. Number one, he said he believes, and actually it makes sense to me too, that they're going to, and it's not like they're going to make 6 months worth of improvement, a whole entire offseason worth of improvement in 1 week, but he believes they can make their biggest leap of improvement within Dana's offense from the USC game to the Wisconsin game, which makes sense because if you think about usually every year, most college football teams as a whole make their biggest leap from game 1 to 2. So essentially, if you're learning Dana Holgorsen's, Dana's learning the Huskers offense, but you're trying to gel together, I should say. You're trying to gel together. That leap from game 1, USC, which is game 1 under Dana Holgorsen calling plays, to game 2, which is Wisconsin, you could see, again, it's not going to be 6 months worth of leap, but you could see the biggest amount of leap you're going to see, barring Holgorsen being the OC next year. So Dana's been, he was brought in during the bye week. He was made the offensive coordinator calling plays literally the week before Nebraska was going to play USC. And this is going to be a second week calling plays. How much of a jump? I don't even know if I want to use the word jump. How much of a bigger stride do you think Nebraska's offense can make going into game 2 with Dana Holgorsen calling plays for the offense versus game 1, Jacob?
So based on what like Raiola said, and he's the guy, obviously he's going to be like energetic and like happy towards the Huskers, no matter how the season's going, because he's the guy at the front helm of that. But he is the guy that's in the practices, taking the reps every day. That is basically the heart and soul of the offense. So if he thinks it's going in the right direction, then they got to be doing something right. And I think that this is probably the most important game because I don't think Wisconsin is as good as Iowa, and they've got to come into Lincoln. It's going to be loud because we really want a bowl game. So this is the game I think to win. And if Raiola says it looks good, then, I mean, he's the guy to trust.
So what if he's just saying what he's supposed to say?
Then we'll see it on the field Saturday. That's what's going to happen.
I'm going to get into, I think you're right. Everyone knows, I try to look at the whole picture, not just the corner of the picture that we want to see and feel good about. I try to look at the whole picture. It does make logical sense. Again, they're probably going to see the biggest improvement from the USC game to Wisconsin game offensively as far as gelling as much as you can in this short time frame with Dana Holgorsen calling plays. By the way, Jake, as you can stop me at any point in time, any show, any day, if you've got a text or someone who's called in or a question on the text line. What is that text line, Jake?
402-464-5685, the Starter Heyman text line.
And something I need to respond to. Do we have anything at this point?
There's like a paragraph I'd have to read through to see if it's worth it, but I'll let you know.
Somebody wrote a novel. That's all right.
Yeah.
Send in novels, send in short sentences. We're good with whatever. All right. So for me, I do think it makes some sense that Dana is, an offensive, I don't want to say genius, but he's really good on the offensive side of the ball, and that's an understatement. Okay, Dylan's uber talented. I've been kind of saying, hey, they put too much on his plate all year. They need to simplify. They need someone who understands the timing of the play calls within the game, which is just as important as the actual play calls themselves. You got to call the right play at the right time. And they're kind of learning each other. So I think it does make sense that they're going to be more comfortable going into this game and maybe make a bigger leap. Wisconsin has not scored more than a touchdown in a game in over a month. They just fired their OC. All right. They got smoked by Iowa. Iowa actually dropped over 40 points on them. I'm still surprised we're favored. That all being said, are you surprised we're favored?
Iowa knows what a touchdown is.
Well, they do this year. They got a new offensive coordinator.
Oh, boy.
So are you surprised we're favored? 2.5 point favorite. We were opened as a 1 point favorite. It's actually grown.
I don't know. I don't know. It's probably because we're at home. If we're just being
Senior
honest.
day.
It's probably because we're at home. The crowd's going to be loud, like it always is, but really loud this Saturday because they really want to see the Huskers in a bowl game. The last time we were in a bowl game, I was in kindergarten, so I think it's been quite a bit since we've even seen them play in a postseason game.
Yeah, it's been a while. Hit me up if there's any sort of questions or anything over there. I opened the whole show yesterday to the fans, and I just want to reiterate, every show every day is open to the fans, so Jake can interrupt me at any point in time. Yeah, we the people. All right, so some of the other things that Dylan talked about, he likes that Holgorsen wants to move a little bit quicker. Things are a little bit more up-tempo. You saw that at times versus USC, but that's something you got to be ingrained in you from day one. So it wasn't consistent throughout the game. There were times like at the start of the game where I felt like we were getting to the ball quicker at the start of the second half, but it wasn't consistent. And so that's something the quarterback wants. I'll never forget, I was in D.C., and it was after Robert's rookie year. RG3 won Rookie of the Year. And he'd hurt the knee, and they had all that freaking drama. The whole time I was in D.C., there was drama from Albert Hainsworth to RG3 and Mike Shanahan and all that stuff. But the big thing that offseason that was not talked about publicly, I'll talk about it here because not a lot of Redskin fans, and it was years ago, so I can talk about it here. Him and Mike Shanahan had a gigantic battle that offseason because RG3 wanted to go no huddle. He wanted to go spread, no huddle, what he had done at Baylor. And Mike Shanahan said, that puts our defense on the field more. It's going to wear them out. It affects the rest of the team. Yeah, the offense will probably put up more points, but now you're affecting the rest of the team, and all three units have to work together as a team, not just what's best for the offense and everybody else figure it out. And they butted heads. And ultimately, Shanahan got fired. And I'll just say it. I love Robert. He's a good dude. We keep in touch to this day. But he was an integral part of a multi-time Super Bowl champion head coach getting fired because of that major disagreement. My point is quarterbacks like tempo. They like to go fast. That's what they want to do. So, of course, Dylan's going to like going a little bit quicker. Just got to get everybody on board. Doing it a little bit more consistently or a lot of it more consistently throughout the entire game. All right. Dylan Raiola basically guaranteed. It was interesting. With the quote he said, the actual quote he said, basically saying we're going to go to a bowl game. We're going to get the win next week to go to a bowl game. Well, next week is Wisconsin. It's like he guaranteed victory versus Wisconsin. Nobody's phrased it that way. Everybody's phrased it as he guaranteed a bowl game. So I got to ask you, Jay, because I'm sure you've seen the quote. Is it kind of like he guaranteed victory versus Wisconsin? And I want to be clear. He did it like it wasn't some big, bold Joe Namath proclamation, okay? He just kind of casually said it, and he just kind of was like matter of fact. And I don't even, the intent behind it wasn't to be disrespectful or bulletin board material, although it probably is because that's what coaches do. They use that type of stuff. But to me, it was just kind of casual, like Husker fans don't tune out because he kind of hinted that they were probably tuning out or they've logged out, I think was the quote. And I think he wants Husker fans like, stay tuned. Like, this isn't over. We're going to get this done next week. And I think that was more the intent. But if you just listen to the words, was it almost like a guarantee of victory versus Wisconsin specifically?
Well, I mean, he did say, he said, we'll get the win next week.
Yeah.
So that's lining it right up. And so I think to a degree, I think you're right. Just the way in which he said it, it kind of came off as like leadership.
Yeah.
Let's get us out of this 4-game rut type of thing. Not so much, obviously an easy game against Wisconsin coming up. So I don't think there's too much need for bulletin board material out of it. But if Wisconsin's desperate.
Oh, they're going to use it.
And they seem desperate.
Yeah. Luke
they
Fickell should use it. But was that really the intent? I don't think so. What do you think, Jacob?
Man, I don't know. It's two sides to the same coin. It's looking at it as you got to have somebody that can step up and say that we need to have a leader that can say that we're going to win these games. But on that same token, you can't go guaranteeing wins when you haven't won much in the past decade. So like we take a guy like Ocho Cinco, even though I didn't watch him, he's a little bit past my my time. But like a guy like that, could trash talk you the entire game and it couldn't matter because you can stop him. So until we start to win some games, I don't know if we should really be saying stuff like that. But I also do like that our freshman quarterback is taking a step up and saying, hey, we're going to get this done.
So Jacob and I actually I knew what he was going to say. He knows what I'm going to say. We discussed this just casually. He knew we were going to talk about it on the show, but I was just kind of like, hey, what do you think? And, I knew he was going to say that. For me, I think the way he said it, I think the intent behind it matters. It wasn't disrespectful. It wasn't a bold proclamation. It was kind of like what Jake said. This is meant to be more leadership. Somebody taking the bull by the horns. Like, we need something or someone to believe in that something's going to change here. And for a long time, I'll just be honest, Matt Rule was that guy. I'm not saying he's not that guy, but he's not unequivocally that guy at the moment either. I said yesterday, I'm rooting for him. I think he can absolutely do it, but he's not there yet. I'm in a wait and see mode. So somebody's got to step up. And if this is how, and it just kind of seemed to just happen naturally within the moment. It wasn't predetermined or pre-planned. If that's what Dylan Raiola feels, and I'll tell you right now, I like it. And even if we lose, he will catch hell for it. People will clip that and send it to him. I don't care. I still like it. If we win, he'll be praised to high heavens. If he catches hell for it, I still like it, even if we lose and if we win. Final thoughts? I know we got to go to break. We're late calling Joe. Any final thoughts, guys? Either one of you? No?
No.
All right.
No, absolutely love it.
All right. Let's go to break. When we come back, a man who votes on about 8 million different major awards in college football, Mr. Joe Mancuso, is going to join me. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT, from cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
After a long, hot summer, are you ready for fall? What about your home? Is your heating system ready for cooler temperatures ahead? Be sure and call Bryant for your fall heating check. No matter what brand of equipment you own, Bryant's trained technician will thoroughly clean and inspect your furnace or heat pump to make sure you stay warm and comfortable. Call today to schedule your home heating check. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see increasing cloud cover throughout the day. It'll be breezy too with a high around 52. Tonight, decreasing clouds and a continued breeze with a low near 32. And tomorrow, we'll see sunny skies. It'll be windy though with a high around 48. Meteorologist Kyle Klecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I was noticing on your website you have more than 150 new 2024 and 2025 Hondas in stock right now.
Yes, we do, Charlie. It's neat when you drive by and see all the cars on our lot, and we have most all models and all different colors available, and we even have more than hundreds on the way. We also have the all-new, all-electric 2024 Honda Prologue in stock right now. We have a few of them to choose from. Plus, qualified buyers get financing from just 1.9% APR.
How about your pre-owned selection?
I talk to a lot of my customers and friends, and they still think that we just sell brand new Honda, but we sell all different models, make of pre-owned cars, and we have more than 100 to choose from right now.
Well, maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All righty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. This segment of the Adam Carriker Show is brought to you by our good friends at Mulberry Barbecue at 11th and Cornhusker, open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try their burn-end sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, a full slab of ribs. We can just go there right now. It's lunch, and I get hungry every day when I talk about this. A half-smoked chicken and much, much more, plus incredible sides. Get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, located at 11th and Cornhusker. And I misspoke earlier, so I apologize. But now I want to bring on our guest. So there is a list of about 15 to 20 awards that this individual votes on, from the All-American team to the Outland Trophy. Ray Guy, Lombardi, Bolitnikoff, Lou Groza, Maxwell, Bednarik, Jim Thorpe, Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year, Maxwell, the Bell Bird Award. All right, Bronco Nagurski, a couple of NFL awards. These are major college football and NFL awards. Mr. Bob Mancuso, how you doing, my friend?
Hello, how you doing, Adam?
Dude, I'm glorious. I appreciate you taking the time to join me. Now, first off, you're having your Outland Trophy semifinalist announcement and event tomorrow in Omaha. You've been kind enough to invite me to it, so I appreciate that. But talk to me exactly about the Outland Trophy, what it means to you, and how do these guys, how are they chosen to be semifinalists, the finalists, and then ultimately the winner?
Right. Well, no, you're welcome, and it should be a great evening. People still can come. You can get tickets online, or you can just come to the event and get them at the door. So it's Wednesday night, the 20th, is the semifinals announcement. It's live from Omaha. It's the 11th annual. So it's a great event here in Omaha. The Outland Trophy, you know how we got to host the Outland Trophy was because of our linemen, Nebraska's linemen for many years. You know, we've always had the pipeline, right?
Yep.
And so in the 97 year, when we won the national championship, Aaron Taylor, I believe, was that right? Aaron Taylor won the Outland Trophy. And in 98 January, we hosted the first event here in Omaha, Nebraska. So it's been going on since 1998. We're up to about the 28th year of it being hosted in Omaha. And so that's just a great accomplishment, a national event. One of the top awards, the third oldest award in college football, is awarded right here in Omaha, Nebraska. So on Nebraska's side, as you know, because you were a great lineman, you were a defensive lineman of the year for Nebraska, for the Big 12 in 2006, and a two-time all-conference player. You know about linemen.
I love linemen. They're awesome. Well, I like the defensive guys more than the offensive guys, if I'm being fully honest with you, but that's okay. My bias is real.
Exactly. So true. And so Nebraska, we have 9 Outland Trophy winners, 8 different guys, because Dave Remington won it twice. But we still have the most Outland winners, you know, in history as of this day. So that's still a great accomplishment. The next closest is a couple schools are around 4 and 5. But we're still, you know, hold that. We got to get back with that and keep our strength of our linemen going and get guys back on this watch list, which we did actually this year for the first time in about 5-6 years. It's the first time we had Ty Robinson and Ben Scott and also Scott, the lineman. And I think they were both brought up as on the initial watch list. I think Scott was on there, and then Ty Robinson got nominated for one of his games to be on the watch list.
You would legit have to add up number 2 and number 3 in the country, the teams with the second and third most amount of Outland trophies, 5 and 4, to match our 9. Some of the winners in the past, Larry Jacobson will actually be at the event tomorrow. You've got Rich Glover. You've got Dave Remington, as you mentioned. He won it twice. All right, Dean Steinkühler, Will Shields, Zach Taylor, Zach Wiegert. Zach won that. That would have been amazing for Zach Taylor, but Zach Wiegert. You got Ndamukong Suh. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Is there somebody I'm missing in there that you can think of?
No, that's pretty much it. And Ndamukong Suh, I think, was our last one.
Yep.
So he was a great one, and he had a great pro career. Now he's retired. But so the Outland Trophy, we're a great home for it. It's here in Omaha. So on Wednesday night here in Omaha at the Legends Patio Bar and Grill, 69th and Pacific, we'll be hosting the semifinal announcement live from Omaha. So the actual semifinalists, which is normally 5 to 8 players, will get announced and go out live from Omaha that night. And so that's a great thing. And so we're looking forward to hosting that again. And then from there, those 5 to 7, 8 semifinalists will get paired to 3. And then from the 3, that's the 3 that go on the ESPN award show, which is in December. This year is December 12th. And that's where they award a lot of the major awards live from that ESPN college football award show. And so that's when we find out who the actual winner of the Outland is.
It's pretty cool because a lot of people probably know, but the Remington is actually also handed out here in Nebraska. Like, that's how dominant the trenches have been for Nebraska in the past. But I went through the list of awards that you vote for pretty quickly, but like the Outland, then you've got the Ray Guy, the Punter of the Year, the Lombardi, another lineman award, Bolitnikoff. You've got the top receiver award, the top kicker, the top quarterback, and a lot of these awards, like these are major awards. So how do you determine who you're going to vote for when you're trying to, like, do you just have 84 TVs going every Saturday? Like, how do you decide who you're going to vote for with all these players that are so good across America?
Yeah, it's definitely a tough thing, and some of them are very tough. You know, every award of the top awards, and there's basically the 10 top awards of college football. They're all a little different on their award process, but some are very similar. Some, there's selection committees. The Football Writers Association of America is who actually selects the Outland Trophy, and they then vote on the semifinalists, and then they'll vote on the finalists to then select a winner. Some of them have committees like the Maxwell Award, which is awarded for the most outstanding player. They have their own committee that they've got developed through the years, and they send it to their voters on, here's our semifinalist list, and then here's our finalist list. And so then you'll look and compare some of the people. And like you said, you got to love football. I know you love football, and the passion and loving the game keeps you interested, and, you know, helps you watch some of these different players and some of these different teams.
So I guess I never talk about it, but I mentioned it to you the other night when we chatted on the phone. I'm actually fortunate enough to be on the Lot Impact Trophy panelists. I'm one of the panelists for there. So I have that's not the experience you do, but just a smidge of experience and something similar, and trying to keep up with these guys on defense. And there's also a community service aspect to the Lot Impact Trophy and being a panelist and voting there. So it's kind of a cool thing. All right, so I'm sitting next to my son, Jacob. He's 15, freshman at Standing Bear High School. He's an offensive lineman. He's a defensive lineman. And I'm not saying, you know, you got to win a major award to be successful in football. But if his goal was to, like, one day, he's an offensive tackle, defensive end, one day, hey, like, I want to be up for the Lombardi or whatever the case may be, what would your advice to him or someone like him be?
Well, I think just as a player, because, you know, you played, I played at Creighton Prep. And both my junior and senior year, we got beat in the state championship. So we had great runs. I eventually played baseball in college. So played with Iowa State University, a little bit with the Colorado was my freshman year, University of Colorado at Boulder. And so I'm a buff a little bit, but a Cyclone. But I think the most important thing for youth, and through the National Football Foundation, which I'm the executive director of that in Nebraska here, and you're a member of the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame, which is through the National Football Foundation. We support football at all levels. So that's youth, high school, and college. And especially college gets noted more, but at all levels. And so for youth, we definitely promote the passion, and the love of the game, and just keep doing your best. So if you're a lineman on either side or any position, skill positions, receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, just keep loving the game and doing your best, and do the things that you want to do to help be successful and to take your talent as far as it can go. And then that'll determine, as far as going into potentially college and giving a shot to play at certain levels of college, but all levels are good, as even lower levels of college football. Because if you enjoy the game, it'll give back to you and make you a better person.
All right, I appreciate you taking the time to join me. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night, but I got one last question. I know the Heisman Trophy is its own thing. It's a little bit different, but your wealth of knowledge when it comes to college football and all these players is phenomenally phenomenal. So in my mind, I think we're down to 3 finalists realistically. Dylan Gabriel of Oregon, who's, in my opinion, not talked about enough, Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty. All right, I got to know right now, who do you got winning the Heisman Trophy this year?
That's a tough one. I think you're right on the top 3. I've always liked Dylan, and I think he made a great transfer going to Oregon. And Oregon he's perfect for their offense, and they're running good. Didn't score as many last week against Wisconsin, but Wisconsin can have a good defense. So they got the win. So I like Dylan. Travis Hunter, both sides. So I think he's the leading vote getter probably out there, the leading person people are watching. I'm going to probably go with Travis Hunter for this year would be at this point, my selection, because he's just having a great year with the Buffs. And if they can win the next couple games and do well and get in the Big 12 championship, that could, as a team, also help propel them, which then also helps Travis, because he probably will have to play well in these couple games for them to continue to win.
Yeah, they got to win, I think. Well, they may not have to win. With what he's doing, he's played over 1,000 snaps this year. The right. Player in number 2 position in college football is at 800. So it's over a 200 total play difference. He's averaging 122 plays a game, or 120 plays a game. The last game he played 122, exactly 61 on offense, exactly 61 on defense. He's leading the Buffs in receptions. He's leading them in interceptions. It's crazy what he's doing. But I want to thank you for taking the time to join me today. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Adam. Appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. And go Huskers!
All right, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Mulberry Barbecue is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
The McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Wolves beat Southampton 2-0, while Man City fell to Brighton 2-1. On the final game of Saturday action, Liverpool was able to top Aston Villa 2-0. On Sunday, Man United had a dominant victory against Leicester City 3-0, while Nottingham Forest fell to Newcastle 3-1. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer at 8th and P.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements. We fix basements.
At F Foundation Repair, we've been fixing basements for over 30 years. We're your local foundation repair experts. Our warranties stay here. Our people work here. You can trust us to take care of your home. Go to WeFixBasements.com to learn more.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Beecham from Brand Lincoln Podcast and Perch Merch, your go-to in Lincoln for printing and promotional needs. Speaking of that, we are running a huge hoodie sale now through November 30th to save you big money on great brands. 20% off everything from Nike and Bella Canvas pullovers to Gildan and Port & Company sweatshirts and district fleeces. Get yours for your group or organization today by calling us at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
For 15 years, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping has been helping Lincoln become healthier, happier, and more fit through our proven combination of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. And to celebrate 15 years of success, we're offering an amazing Black Friday sale for all ticket listeners. You will get the Winter 10-Week Challenge for 40% off and get all of December for free. Start your transformation before the new year arrives. And at the end of the 10-Week Challenge, someone's walking away with $1,000. Come check it out. What do you have to lose? Click on the banner at theticketfm.com to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill, or 70th and Vine, and online at fxblincoln.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
The bell rings and the school day starts. The future of our fiber hoods lies in their hands. That's why Allo Fiber invests in schools, students, and the next generation of leaders. If you sign up for Allo service between now and December 31st, Allo will donate $50 to the school of your choice. Joining the Allo Fiber family isn't just about crazy fast, reliable internet. It's about giving back to your local community and investing in what matters most. Switch to Allo today and we'll donate $50 to your chosen school. Visit allofiber.com/education to make a difference now.
Are you or someone you love struggling with substance use? The Bridge Behavioral Health in Lincoln offers outpatient therapy for those 19 and over. The Bridge is conveniently located in the South Haymarket and near city bus lines. With payment options through insurance and a sliding fee scale, services are available for any adult 19 and over seeking help. Call 402-477-3951 to learn more or schedule your appointment today. The Bridge Behavioral Health is a local substance use treatment facility offering hope and a solid foundation for recovery through substance use treatment and behavioral health interventions.
At Koppel Chevrolet GMC, we are thankful for so many things this year, starting with our great employees, a generous community, our military personnel, and most importantly, our loyal customer base that continues to drive that money-saving mile of Louisville. Hi, this is Sean Callahan, and on behalf of everybody at Koppel, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to wherever they may take you. Happy holidays from Koppel Chevrolet GMC.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. We're going to dive right into it because we're on schedule today here at The Ticket, and I'm not going to be the one to screw that up. Jake, you got any questions from the fans or anything from Holgorsen's press conference that we should address?
Yeah, let's get to the Holgorsen here in a second. There was one question off the text line I did want to ask you, which was basically just thinking, get your thoughts on the 105-player roster coming next year.
Well, it's coming, whether I like it or not. I don't like what they're doing to the walk-ons. I need more time to address that question, and I will address it at one point in the future. Like, my brother-in-law is a walk-on. I have a heart for walk-ons. Honestly, my best friends to this day, in large part, not 100%, but in large part, that I played with were walk-ons originally, and they were the heart and soul of Nebraska for a long time. All right, obviously everybody contributes, and scholarship players play a big role, but to me, I always had a special soft spot in my heart. And like Matt Rule said earlier, I think he said it Monday, they basically legislated the walk-on program out of college football. It's not something that I'm thrilled about, but it doesn't matter what I think. I ain't getting paid the big bucks, Jake.
All right, and a few things from Dana Holgorsen here, his first press conference as a Husker. He said, I identified a young player in practice who can help this week. So that's interesting to think about on offense. He also said, talking to the wide receivers, he's noted how big they were. And he said, why are you not blocking worth of crap? It's embarrassing.
All right, first things first, I already like Dana Holgorsen. He's already one of my favorite coaches. All right, so who do we think the young player is? Does anybody have an idea who the young player is on offense, obviously?
I have to think it's somebody that hasn't been used much or at all at this point.
Jalen Lloyd? I'm trying to think. Yeah. Jalen Lloyd?
Well, that makes sense to me.
Emmett Johnson. I'm just saying. You got to keep throwing his name out there. He's technically an underclassman. He's a sophomore. All right, Jacob, what do you think of wide receivers who don't block, especially wide receivers who are starters that are 6'4", 220 pounds? They're basically small tight ends, and they don't block. You're a lineman. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, what makes me mad? They get the ball and they don't have to block, but it's what all the good teams do. Everybody contributes in the run game, in the pass game, the linemen, the receivers, whatever. It's a thing we tried to in meetings at Standing Bear, try to focus on was wide receivers blocking. So just it's what the good teams do, and if you want to be a good team, you got to do that.
Yes, I couldn't have said it better myself. All right, so here's what I want to do. Anything else, Jake?
No.
All right. A little bit of college football playoff prediction from yours truly, and then they can dissect it and tell me where I'm right, and then they can also tell me where I'm right, and on top of that, where I'm right. Sound good, Jacob? Kind of like at home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Unless mom's around.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I know. Unless mom's around. Oh, boy. All right. Oh, this one's for you, Jake. Via Josh Pay on Twitter, whose college football show is almost as good as ours. I say that with all humility in the world. He says conference title games being devalued, which they will be because people aren't going to want to play and lose. You lose the off week. Then you have to play again. And then are they going to be punished with a road playoff game? How's this going to play out? All right, but he says conference title games being devalued will be used as a reason the SEC and Big Ten will overhaul the college football playoff again. And here it is, Jake. I expect them to seek an AFC, NFC postseason structure. Don't even ask what this means for the rest of the sport because they don't care. I've been talking about that for a long time. We'll come back to that another day, but I just saw it, so I had to bring it up today. All right. Before I get into the rankings and what they should look like, these are the top 10 teams and the ranked wins that they do or don't have. Oregon beat number 2, Ohio State. Number 13, Boise State. Number 24, Illinois. They've got 3. Number 2, Ohio State beat number 4, Penn State. Number 3, Texas. Not on the list. Number 4, Penn State beat number 24, Illinois. Wow. Talk about squeaking on the list. Number 5, Indiana. Love you, Indiana, but you ain't on this list. You ain't beat nobody ranked. With all due respect to ourselves, Michigan, and everybody else you played. Notre Dame. You still lost to Northern Illinois, but you also won at number 15, Texas A&M. Alabama, all right, number 7. They have 2 ranked wins. Number 8, Georgia. Number 19, South Carolina. And those look like some pretty good wins, by the way, I might add. All right, Alabama at times this year has looked like the best team in the country, and at other times this year they've looked completely and utterly lost like they're still in the middle of spring ball. But here comes Georgia with the most on this list. The toughest strength of schedule in the country. And I still actually don't know how they're ahead of Florida. I've already talked about that in the past. But those, to me, are the 2 toughest strength of schedules in the entire country. Georgia has beat 3 teams. Number 10, Texas. Number 3, Texas. Number 10, Tennessee. Number 17, Clemson. And that was a good old mud hole stomping. All right, number 9, Ole Miss, which is the most dangerous team in the playoff. Watch out for Ole Miss. They are the most dangerous team out here. All right, not the best. The most dangerous. All right, Ole Miss has 2 ranked wins. Number 8, Georgia. Number 19, South Carolina. Number 10, Tennessee has 1 win. That's number 7, Alabama, 1 ranked win. All right, here's how I foresee it. Down the road, ladies and gentlemen, I decided to do what I think it will look like, not what it will look like tonight, but in the end, what the college football playoff seeding will look like. Number 1, Oregon, because they're going to play Ohio State, and it's hard to beat the same team twice. And I had Ohio State down here, but you know what I noticed? Oregon has a bye week. This week, they played 8 straight games. Now they have a bye week. They play Washington. It's a rivalry game. They should kill them. Then they get the Big Ten title game. Meanwhile, Ohio State will have played for 8 straight weeks going into that Big Ten title game. That means something, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm going with Oregon, because the margin for error is so razor thin between Oregon and Ohio State. Number 2, I got Texas. I'm not uber confident. I think they play Bama in the SEC title game. I could see Bama winning. I don't know which Bama team shows up. I'm going to go with Texas. I don't know how good they are, but I'm going to go with that. SMU upsets Miami. SMU upsets Miami to win the ACC. They're the number 3 seed. Number 4, Colorado beats BYU, but because BYU is ranked ahead of Boise, people will leapfrog Colorado over Boise, and also People don't want Boise to get a top 4 seed more so than anything. And Colorado gets a first-round freaking bye. What do you think of that after we just mollywopped Colorado here in Lincoln? And I know that's rough to think about now, but Colorado, I have them getting, very realistically, they control their own destiny. They're in first place, tied for first place in the Big 12 right now. Play BYU Big 12 title game. BYU, I think, is run out of gas. They can win. They can get a top 4 seed in the first round bye in the playoff. What do you think?
Well, I heard a guy, when we were in the car, you were playing it. I don't know whose show it was, but they were talking about, like, if you heard that sentence a year ago, Colorado controls their own destiny. And and then imagine hearing that after we beat them.
Yes.
Like here in Lincoln, and how bad they looked. It's just on all sides of the ball. Their biggest weakness is that offensive line, and yet they've somehow played through it and just might play despite of the offensive line. In my opinion, a little bit biased, the most important position, most important 5 guys on a field. They just might play in spite of that right into the college football playoff.
Do you think playing in the Big 12 helps? It's not.
It can't hurt.
Yeah, it's
it
not
can't hurt.
Hey, props to them, though. That hurts my soul to say, but props to them. At the number 5 seed, I have Ohio State. I don't know how the committee is going to handle championship game losers, but I don't see how you can punish them that much. Number 6, Penn State. They played nobody, have 1 loss, and they're still going to be in this thing. Notre Dame's going to have 1 loss, still lost to Northern Illinois. Number 8, Ole Miss. Number 9, Georgia. Number 10, Indiana. I think they play Ohio State close enough that they don't fall all the way out if they lose this weekend of the 12-team playoff. Alabama will get in with 3 losses, and they should. Because if they're in the SEC title game and they lose to Texas, they should get in with 3 losses. And I'm telling you, there's a Big 12 ACC team with 1 loss that won't be in this thing. And I got Boise State as the 12th seed. Potential matchups in this, man. Ohio State, Boise State, Penn State, Alabama. Just think about a whiteout Penn State, Alabama coming in at night. Ooh, that first round of the college football playoff is going to be fun no matter who is seated where. All right. Thanks for joining me, Jacob.
Yep, always.
All right, you want to say throw the bones?
Throw the bones.
That was awful. Until next time, Husker Nation, go Big Red, and always remember
to throw the bones.
That was better. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
You've seen them come and go. Franchise testosterone clinics that pop up and then whoosh, they're gone. These franchise clinics quickly find out it's not easy to compete with Limitless Male. Limitless is locally owned and operated with a flawless protocol that has elevated them to be the best in men's testosterone replacement and sexual performance. By adding GLP-1s, our patients are losing weight in a healthy way. To feel your optimal best, schedule a free consult at limitlessmale.com.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4490